Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going deep on mindset. You know, that thing that really shapes how we see the world and interact with it?
Right.
Almost like a blueprint for our beliefs and actions.
Yeah.
And get this, our source is the Wikipedia article on mindset.
Okay.
And let me tell you, it's jam-packed with history and research and theories, even mindsets and politics and systems theory.
It's amazing how much you can pack into one article, really.
Right. I was so surprised to find out that mindset isn't just some trendy new buzzword. The research goes back like over a century.
Really?
Yeah. Like there were these pioneers, Thaddeus Lincoln Bolton
Okay.
and Edward Lee Thorndike, way back in the early 1900s.
Ah.
They were laying the groundwork for what we understand today.
It's always interesting to see those historical roots, to realize these concepts have been around for so long.
Yeah.
And it gets even more interesting when you see how mindset research
Yeah.
exploded in the 80s and 90s, went way beyond just psychology.
Oh.
It started popping up in fields like international relations, mindfulness, even leadership, with researchers like Ellen Langer and Donella Meadows.
It makes you realize just how far-reaching it is. Like our mindset impacts every part of life, personal growth, global politics, everything.
Yeah, definitely.
But before we go too far, can we zoom in on some examples? Because the article talks about this Cold War mindset and how it really shaped global events for decades.
Yeah, I mean, imagine a world split between these two superpowers.
Right.
Each one just looking at the other with suspicion and fear, and every move, every advancement, it was seen as a threat.
Oh, totally.
So this us versus them mentality, it fueled an arms race, influenced foreign policy, and really just kept the world on edge for a long time.
It's crazy how one collective mindset can be so powerful to shape history.
It is.
It makes you wonder, are there similar mindsets at play in today's world? Think about the current political climate, and how certain narratives and beliefs are shaping relations around the globe.
It's a great point. And recognizing those patterns, it can really help us understand and navigate this complex world, are we falling into similar traps of fear and division? Or are there opportunities to cultivate a more collaborative and understanding approach to international relations?
It's like having this new lens to analyze current events, to see beyond just the surface actions and understand those deeper motivations and beliefs that are at play.
And this idea of different mindsets shaping entire systems and cultures, the article takes it even further with Meguro Maruyama's concept of mindscapes.
Okay, mindscapes. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, so essentially Maruyama said that different cultures and societies develop unique mindsets that influence their structures and interactions.
Okay.
He even categorized these mindscapes to show the spectrum of how societies organize themselves and make decisions.
So some cultures might have a more hierarchical mindscape while others are more egalitarian. Yeah, and some prioritize individualism while others emphasize collectivism.
Okay.
Maruyama's work helps us see that there isn't just one way to see the world, right? Different cultures have different operating
That's so true.
systems, so to speak, and understanding that is so valuable in our globalized world.
Totally. It's like recognizing that your normal might not be someone else's normal.
Yeah.
Which is so important now because we're constantly interacting with people from such diverse backgrounds.
Yeah, these mindscapes really give us a framework for understanding those cultural nuances and how they impact everything from communication styles to decision-making processes to conflict resolution.
It makes you realize how much miscommunication and conflict can happen just because we're operating from different mindscapes.
Yeah, so being aware of those differences and approaching cross-cultural
interactions with sensitivity and willingness to learn, it's crucial.
So we've talked about historical mindsets shaping global events, cultural mindsets shaping societies. But what about those mindsets that affect us on a personal level? The article talks about collective mindsets. How shared beliefs and behaviors emerge within groups.
This is where things get really interesting because it shows how mindsets can be contagious.
Oh, wow.
You see this in Edwin Hutchins' research on naval navigation teams.
Okay.
Their success was all about having this shared understanding of procedures and roles. It's a collective mindset that let them operate smoothly under pressure.
And we see that in our own lives too, right? Think about the work culture at your job.
Exactly.
Or even the vibe of your community.
Yeah, and like the article mentions, that vibe, it can actually shape outcomes.
Oh, interesting.
Like Maximilian Senges found that universities with a collective mindset focused on entrepreneurship were much more successful in fostering innovation.
So the collective mindset can really make or break an organization.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
It really is. And it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
what are the collective mindsets shaping your life?
That's a good question.
Are they empowering you or holding you back? Are you surrounded by people who encourage growth and innovation, or those who reinforce limitations?
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
And speaking of powerful mindsets, we can't forget Carol Dweck's work on fixed versus growth mindsets.
Oh, of course, that's one of the most well-known theories in the field.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
I know. It really highlights how our beliefs about ability, whether we see it as fixed or capable of growth, it can have such a huge impact on our motivation and achievement.
Absolutely.
The article breaks down the key differences. Like, with a fixed mindset, you believe your intelligence and talents are set in stone. You either have it or you don't.
Right.
And feedback can feel like a personal attack, especially if it's negative.
Whereas with a growth mindset, you see challenges as opportunities to learn and develop.
Right.
You embrace feedback, you value effort, and setbacks, they're just temporary.
I like that.
This leads to a love of learning and this resilience that helps you overcome obstacles.
It's such a better way to approach things.
It is.
And Dweck's research in education shows how powerful this can be.
Oh, yeah.
Students with a growth mindset, they tend to perform better academically, and they're more likely to keep going when things get tough.
Absolutely. And it's not just for students. This applies to all of us.
Oh, definitely.
In every area of life.
Yeah.
Learning a new skill, pursuing a career goal, navigating personal challenges, your mindset plays a huge role.
It makes me think about times when I felt stuck because I believed I just wasn't good at something, but maybe looking back, it was more about my mindset.
It's easy to fall into that trap of self-doubt.
It is.
Especially if you've had setbacks or negative feedback in the past. But the beauty of a growth mindset is it lets you reframe those experiences.
Right.
And see them as opportunities for learning and growth.
So it's not about being naturally gifted or talented. It's about believing in your ability to develop and improve.
Exactly. And that belief can be incredibly empowering. It allows you to embrace challenges, push your limits, and achieve things you never thought possible.
It's powerful stuff.
It is. But before we get too carried away with the power of growth mindset, it's important to acknowledge there have been some criticisms and nuances raised about the theory recently.
I'm curious to hear more about that.
Yeah, we'll dive into those nuances and criticisms in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll explore some other fascinating mindsets and discuss how we can all cultivate a more empowering approach to life.
Sounds good.
Yeah.